Trust is huge in discerning whether the feeling that you have is intuition or insecurity. You have to learn how to trust yourself. Learn to trust that you are going to make the right decision, but you're making this decision based upon being able to recognize the correct feeling.
You are listening to It's All Mental Podcast, a show that empowers Black and Brown females on how to maintain good mental health through personal and real-life experiences. Each week, we explore various topics that any female can relate to. I am your host, licensed professional counselor, and owner of Glass Seats, Pamela Smith.
What's up, good people? Coming to you today to talk about the difference between intuition and insecurity. Intuition is usually that inner voice that you have that instills peace or direction, right? It's something that you kind of just know there's a calmness to it. If you're not listening to it, it may continue to remind you, okay, I'm telling you, don't go that way, don't do this, don't make that decision type thing. But once you do it, it gives you a sense of peace. You're not in angst about it. You're not angry. You're no longer feeling confused or, wondering if you made the right decision. It just happens. You hear that voice that tells you what to do. You follow that voice, and then, like I said, you have a peace about it. Insecurity, on the other hand, is more negative. It's a little more nagging, and it instills fear, a nervousness almost. Usually, insecurity is caused by a past experience, maybe upbringing or negative beliefs that one has about themselves. What I will say is trust is huge in discerning whether the feeling that you have is intuition or insecurity. You have to learn how to trust yourself. Learn to trust that you are going to make the right decision, but you're making this decision based upon being able to recognize the correct feeling, right? The correct feeling of, is this intuition or is this insecurity? And that's not to say that you won't make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. That's not a problem. If you do, you pick yourself up and you just try again. But learning to identify who you are and how you perceive things is very, very monumental in determining, is this intuition or is this insecurity? The other thing is, if you are really wondering, let's just say there's an issue within a personal relationship. And if you're really wondering, okay, is this intuition or is this insecurity? Have an open and honest communication with the other party or parties. Be willing to speak freely, not in a negative manner, but be willing to speak freely, but also actively listen to what the other parties are saying. And then from there, make an informed decision. Sometimes we make things out to be a little harder than they have to be, when all it took was just, maybe a 2-3 minute conversation. And then you are able to gather more information that either confirms, yeah, okay, this was my intuition saying to do this, or I am insecure, or, this was a fear that I had about something. So hit me up. Let me know how these conversations go. I would be glad to listen to see how they went and what you did with them. Thanks. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to It's All Mental Podcast. If you could do us a favor and leave a review on Apple Podcast, that would be great. Until next week, I am your host, Pamela Smith.